It's time for the rematch. Reynor versus Solar. Previously, Solar defeated Reynor 2-1. Now it's back to that here as we're going to close out Group A. I think it could have gone either way previously. Clearly, they're very even in skill. We just saw Solar try his best against Cure, unable to make anything happen there. I think Cure was really a league above everybody, at least today. And then Reynor, you know, he had actually, I think, a particularly difficult game against SOS because of the terms SOS played the game on, but still came out on top. I imagine this game should be just as close as the previous one, and I think it's too close to call who's going to advance.
Yeah, I think the only thing we can reliably say about this next series is that it's probably going to be explosive. We knew that coming into today, and it was just even more reinforced by the opening series between Reynor and Solar. Just a lot of aggression. Reynor going for like 3 hatch, no layer roach pushes. Solar finding these narrow windows, just exploit vulnerabilities and go right for the throat. These are two very aggressive Zerg players in basically any matchup, and you let them loose against each other in a ZVZ, and everything is on the table. We might see like Ling Baneling rushes, we might see Roach all-ins again.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be fun. They already tried out a lot of different approaches to each other. It's always interesting when you have a high-stakes match like this one and then a rematch. Like, how many builds do they have? Is it going to be mirroring a lot of what we already saw, or is it going to be a game with very, very different ideas? Our game is now loading up. Remember, the winner of this moves on into the round of 8. The loser is out of Season 1 of the GSL. Okay, Reynor in the bottom left, Solar in the top right. It's been so good to be back, guys.
It feels really nice.
It's, you know, we were talking about it earlier, but in case you're just tuning in, I mean, it's been 11 months since we've been in the studio.
It felt almost eerie making the walk from the station back to the GSL studio.
It felt like walking back into your old school. Or you know what I mean? Or going to your friend's house after you've all been off to college for a while and you're coming back to town.
It was just too long a break, man.
Yeah. I hope we never have a break for this long ever again. Hey.
Challenge accepted. Oh, congratulations.
Nice.
Oh. That's awesome.
awesome.
That is so cool.
You got a little Zergling you're going to hatch. Right now, I mean, the build orders are very mirrored. We see that in the production tab. We're going to wait until there's a deviation with these two.
Yeah, this has been kind of the story for Reynor versus Solar for the early game throughout all 4 games they've played so far today. If there's a deviation, it's a slight one, like a hatch-free 1 drone later or 1 drone earlier. The real deviations that we've seen between Reynor and Solar have basically come when the 3rd hatchery gets thrown down. Occasionally we'll see aggression like Reynor's been doing with Lings and Banelings, aiming to deny that 3rd base, or at the very least delay it and cancel. From Solar, we've seen him play a little bit more of a responsive style, where when he is going for an attack, when he is going for a push that's going to get some damage done, it's usually based on some kind of material advantage that he has built early in the game, like getting a faster evolution chamber in a layer, and then using the 20-second window he's got with +1 with roach speed to get value. Whereas Reynor, you know, up until this point, it's been a lot more almost brute force in his approach, and it's hard to take that read from a 3-game series and apply it to another 3-game series, because these are 2 of the best Zerg players in the world who have, I'm sure, a breadth of builds they can bring out at any given moment. But so far, that has been the story. And I'm wondering if you're Reynor here, if you want to turn that on its head, or if you're Solar, if you want to be a little bit more in the driver's seat and stop playing Reynor's game exactly, even though you've been playing well as the responding player. I feel like Solar, you know, when he was at his peak in ZVZ, I can't remember how many months ago this was, where it seemed like he was unstoppable for a stretch. He was always the one pushing it to the limit. He was the one going for the attack, going for Lings and Banelings. He was unpredictable. He was dangerous. It felt like he would do these builds that seemed like they shouldn't work, but they would work because of how aggressive he was and how confident he was at implementing them. But, you know, game number 1 here in this best of 3, really anything can happen. So far, very small deviations. We have a Roachborn going down a little bit earlier for Solar, but word counts effectively the same. Third base timings effectively the same. Really not too much of a deviation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quiet start, right? We do have that Evo coming down now for Reynor. I'm not sure where on the map it is exactly. I don't believe it's out by the entrance.
I think it might be the natural expansion.
Oh, is it at the natural? Okay, then I missed that.
Maybe I'm wrong. These monitors are so small. To see like a little 3 pixel by 3 pixel
no,
thing
I forgot that
Evo
we cast this tournament off of Sega Game Gear. So
yeah.
It's like a... the reason why I'm bringing that up is like, okay, so it is hidden.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm asking is like, if it's out in the front, then you're going to see it, right? But if you hide it, then he's basically going to recycle what happened in game 1 and try to make it work. Now, I do want to point out, if you run across the map with roaches in this game and then run back, I don't think that's going to sell it as a fake. Now, he doesn't scout that, by the way. He's going to be able to loop all the way through here, but he never saw the Evo.
Yeah, but Solar's the one that's actually getting aggressive here, Tasteless. He's sitting at 38 drones, pumping roaches and Lings right now. All right, there is another round of drones in production, but kind of an interesting time for Solar to make so many units and then not move across the map. I wonder if it's something that his scouting Zergling basically told him that he doesn't really have a window to get damage done, but Reynor currently 7 workers ahead, 3 more drones just popped.
You know, the fact that Solar scouted and then didn't see the Evo chamber in the one spot it was hidden could be like one of these, you know, ironically, it's always good to scout, but if you don't see the thing and you think you saw almost everything, you might think you're in a position you're actually not in. This may actually enhance the timing attack when it does come with a +1 missile attack.
Oh, Lair coming in right now for Reynor, so it will not be the same build as game number 1.
Yeah, no, this is totally different then. I correct that.
11 more roaches from Solar. It's a bit of a role reversal, except Solar's not even going for the upgrade. And with all this gas, he's going to have having a lot of Ravagers, I think. 3 gases on, what, 47 drones? Yeah, the aggression is about to come. +1 ranged weapons for Reynor should finish by the time this fight begins, but is missile attack going to be enough with a Spine Crawler at that third base for Reynor to defend against the horde of roaches that are streaming across the map? 18 in total with a ton of Lings and Banelings also in production.
Oh, man. I mean, he's going to try to shuffle the Spine Crawler forward. The Banes are going to be morphed. They can't be denied. The Arc is going to be a little bit better right now for Reynor.
All right, Biles get dodged quite well there by Reynor. Spinecrawler not contributing in the fight. He's going to try and kite back into it so he can add some DPS. Some very good control here from Reynor.
Ooh,
it feels like he might just have barely enough right now with this Arc. It's a better concave.
He's got it. He's diving on here. He's crushing this.
Wow.
That +1 missile attack is making a huge difference here. He's ignoring the Lings very intentionally and just targeting the other roaches. He's got that number thinned out, and this attack has completely backfired. I don't know how in the world Solar's going to get a 4th base.
That was some really good control there by Reynor.
The layer just starts right now for Solar. Reynor now has enough that these Lings are not a threat. It's melting these Zerglings.
I think Reynor might have actually canceled his lair to have enough money to defend that push.
I think so, because we saw the layer start back up there. So, I mean, Reynor's in a really comfortable spot. He's over 10 drones in a lead right now. He already has +1, whereas the Evolution Chamber for Solar is about to finish.
Yeah, that was a masterful defense there from Reynor. I mean, excellent positioning. Even the small micro moves, like pulling the roaches maybe half a range back on the left side to make sure the Spine Crawler, you just optimize the DPS on that side while maintaining the concave there on the bottom. Solar, it seemed like he might just have enough to push his way through that third base, but Reynor with some really nice micro and some good decision-making, canceling the lair too. Just able to hang on by the skin of his teeth, and that's going to be a couple of minutes now where he will have basically a substantial worker lead. I mean, this is the first time since that push where Solar is equalized in the drone count, and that means that Reynor now has a big balloon in supply over his opponent, and he can be the one getting aggressive.
Yeah, with the superior upgrades, N+2 in the mail. Now, he may be trying to force out less drones. The Lings are going to come for here for a counterattack as well.
Oh, it's a Spire here for Solar behind all of this. Third base, or fourth base, excuse me, in production now for Reynor. He comes in the main base. Spire, I think, is in the natural expansion, so he's not going to spot anything besides that evolution chamber. I don't know why the Korean guys are just so excited about that. Over sure getting taken out. Maybe was expecting him to slow down that upgrade as Reynor now pushing here into the main base again.
This could be fatal.
So many roaches tasteless.
Yeah, this is so much. And there's many more coming in here. He's trafficking more roaches on the map here. Every time there's not ideal surface area, he shoves in, confident he can close that out. GG. Reynor taking game one, defying that counterattack with his own +1 roaches, canceling the layer, and then going right back into the layer once that was done.
Yeah, that was fantastic defense. I mean, that was basically, I think, game one of their previous series, but with the roles reversed. It was instead Solar going for the timing attack on 3 bases with a very low drone count, and Reynor defending while going layer, while getting these upgrades. And Reynor was able to basically ironclad out that defense. I mean, there was very little Solar can do to push into that third base. The concave was just too good. The positioning was fantastic, even with the workers that Reynor had. And now Reynor, for I think the first time in his GSL career, is 1 map win away from going to the round of 8. I mean,
yeah.
He has been trying for so long to get that trophy here in the GSL. We were talking about how it's one of the few championships he hasn't won. One of the things he's had his eyes on for years out here in Korea.
He's been questing after this for a long time. This could be his season, man. He's been a world champion before. Let's see if he can become a GSL champion now here. Guys, game 2 is loaded up. Reynor vs. Solar continues on.
Oh, Solar.
Well, well, well.
This is the Solar I was expecting to see in DBZ today.
I kind of thought we were going to have one game that looked like this, but, you know, let's see what happens. So he's going to rush Reynor hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Reynor is going to go for hatchery first. See? And the question is going to be, how well can Reynor try to hold this? These 1-base rushes, most of the time they either win or the other player holds, and the 1-baser is just in such a bad position.
I feel like this build in particular, it's usually very difficult to transition out of it if it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's
the instances where you basically reach an equilibrium of damage done and you go into a macro game behind it are few and far between in my viewing experience. And this is going to be basically as aggressive as it gets here from Solar with the fastest possible Ling speed. Ling's already in production, only 13 drones on minerals, so not even fully saturated, no queen in production.
when these rushes come, the placement of every single building starts to matter.
Yeah.
So Reynor's not in one where he could like have plugged up Ling's running around his minerals. Now, he's not mining gas. Solar's not. He's getting Ling's speed, but he's not going to have any more gas coming in here. Whereas Reynor has a steady accumulation of gas. It's 20 workers to 12.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 worker kills would even this out. I've seen versions of this. Now, he's running around the Overlords, which makes a longer travel time, but also increases the potency of the surprise because Reynor will have made more drones. And he's going to focus on the hatchery. Now, let's say he kills the hatchery. It's still 20 workers to 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to pretty good body blocking. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
They actually both get away, so that's unfortunate for him. The queen is going to pop here. And he's going to send some drones. He's going to try to save this. It is on a knife's edge. I mean, he could almost kill this before the queen comes out. All right, I guess not because he actually bought time with that. So he's going to use the eggs that came out of the fresh hatchery to make a few more lings. Really good control by Reynor.
Yeah, man, Solar was so close to getting a surround on that queen. It's very difficult to micro that as Reynor here with his slow lings.
So you basically just persist is the way the Zerg wants to approach this. You're just going to get another hatchery. He's going to try to snipe the drone. And you're going to bring this spine crawler down here and basically just go right back to what you were already doing. Because, again, 18 workers is more than what he had for this entire game. Now, Solar's catching up. It's at 16 drones now. The real loss here for Reynor was obviously the hatchery that was killed. But, you know, I got to say this looks pretty good for Reynor.
Yeah, I feel like if Solar had focused down the hatchery there, the natural expansion of Reynor, and got it before the queen popped, that could have been a big difference maker. He
got baited for sure. Like, I was looking at that and I'm like, oh, I think he's actually doing damage so fast that he's going to kill this. He just needs to hyper commit to it, because then the hatchery probably, I mean, he might have even not been able to cancel it, right? And he would not have gotten the extra eggs, which would have meant that he could have not, he might have been able to fight him off of the low ground again. I don't know the total like nuance to this, because these rushes get pretty complicated at really high levels, but yeah, I think he probably could have forced a kill on that if he just stayed at the bottom of the hatchery.
And we actually have that situation where it's transitioning into more of a standard game, as crazy as it is. I mean, Reynor had some really nice defense right there against that push. And he's going for a super fast +1 carapace, by the way. I mean, this is so quick.
Yeah, +1 fast carapace is interesting. So, another link comes in here to scout. It's going to see the Evo chamber, but, you know, you can see it's upgrading. You don't know what's necessarily going on inside, right?
Solar now going for a third hatchery. Reynor just throwing his down as well. A lot of lings in production. Or at least, I guess they just popped. Solar actually sitting quite a bit ahead in army supply, 20 lings in total.
Yeah, he may be winding up for another attack here. The worker count's even, by the way. So, you know, it's not like, you know, anybody's got to do anything right.
Oh, you're kidding me, Reynor! So good.
Another one's going to come in. I don't know. Is he going to...
Oh,
dude, he's so good.
Oh, that's just awesome.
That's crazy. You know, Zerglings, I think people can dismiss pretty easily. A Zergling, you know, loss is, you know, maybe not as big of a deal at all. But when you deflect that many lings, it does add up, especially in these big fights, especially when you see a timing attack like the one we have coming inbound right now. Now, Reynor's making his roaches. Another moment where he's going to attack the hatchery. 2 Banes will pop to kill another Bane. He's going to try to force him. Okay, so I think that the lings can come back in, right? Oh, hold up. Another Bane's up here.
Looking for a good connection, but just not quite able to find it.
He kills it.
Hatchery is going to go down.
Really good job there by Solar. So it's kind of a repeat of what we just saw. He forced killed a hatchery, and Reynor's going to remake it. Now, I do think Reynor could be dropping behind here in this moment. I think the armor upgrade's done, right?
Yeah, armor upgrade is complete.
So he's going to be moving across the map. Now, I'm not clear on the math for, you know, how armored roaches are going to fare against lings. I'm sure they're going to have a lot more sustain. But I don't think there's a real opening here where Reynor can just go right across the map and punch Solar in the mouth. I think he's going to have to stay back home and wait.
I actually don't think it's going to be Reynor moving across the map at all.
Yeah, it's going to be actually a winding up attack here from Solar.
Yeah, he is at 64 army supply. He killed that third base, and he did not use that to build an economic advantage. Reynor right now might be misreading the situation. He thinks that killing that third base, Solar is going to be droning up and building a lead. No, Solar is expecting Reynor to try and greed his way back to make up for the loss of that third hatchery. And he is just pumping the gas. 76 army supply, 16 more lings reinforcing, going to stream across the map. And this is such a huge force. I don't know if +1 carapace is going to help Reynor in this one. I mean, it's going to have to be a miracle defense. There are so many units coming into this natural expansion. Spinecrawler is starting to finish. One burrowing right there in the front line. Bile is going to drop on that. Third hatchery will fall again, and now Solar decides to start droning up.
Transfuse is over there on the spine, but it does fall. Lings and Roaches coming in. I don't think that Reynor has enough. The armor upgrade's going to help, but with this flood of Lings coming in, there's just nothing to stop the damage output.
It's a very good angle here for Reynor, but Solar with so much more on the ground right now. Those Ravagers, especially in the back, laying waste with their range. Bile's also raining down. And I feel like we're going to tie this one up.
Yeah, this is going to go to 1-1. In fact, the Roach Warren's about to die over here in the front. It's bleeding out.
I can't believe Reynor's still alive. Bile's going to finish off the Roach Warren, but Solar right now, he's sitting on 50 drones. He has the 3-base economy. Reynor, he does have 1-1. He's got the lair done. He has Roach speed coming in, but Solar is on the precipice of forcing a game 3. It is so close, but you know, Reynor, he is tenacious. He is not going to quit.
Yeah, he's going to keep trying. He's going to play from behind, basically. I think Solar has exhibited more control of a game here than any other game in the series, really. In the entire group is what I mean to say.
I can't believe he didn't knock him out right there. Reynor was looking dead to rights.
Yeah, well, Reynor got a pretty comfy angle and kind of let Solar feed into him a little bit. But Solar's so ahead. Solar's almost 20 workers ahead right now.
I mean, it's 60 drones to 40 more or less, and there is an upgrade advantage here for Reynor, but with 3 soon to be 4 hatcheries, absolutely mass-producing Roaches and Ravagers, I'm not sure those upgrades are going to make a big enough difference when Solar attacks again at that third base, which I feel is basically inevitable at this point. I think we're maybe only 30 seconds out from him going for that +1 timing with Roach speed.
Fourth base about to finish here. I mean, Reynor's so buried here. And, you know, the idea here from Solar is pretty smart. He's just going to build up and bash into Reynor again and get Reynor more and more behind. He doesn't have to get all the upgrades in the world. He doesn't have to rush in any kind of tech. I mean, they're basically making the same units, and when you have a huge economic lead, it's pretty straightforward, man. Just come in and attack again.
And it's a very smart move from Solar, too. He knows he doesn't need to attack. I think some Banelings actually sniped some drones over there at the third base, but he knows he doesn't have to attack until the third base is back up. And that is indeed what he does, and that is a lot of Roaches here for Solar. Stutter stepping forward. I think he wants to go to game number 3. Reynor supply dwindling right now, sub 100 as Solar continues to push into the natural expansion. GG is called. Reynor, I mean, that was, the fact that he survived to that point is a surprise. And we're going to go to a game number 3.
This is it, guys. Last game of the night. I don't know who takes this, man. They are so evenly matched.
Solar ZBZ has felt like his best matchup to me for a very long time.
He's been in a very good Zerg region for a long time. He's always been able to hang with Europeans, other Koreans. They're really having to bring everything out they've got. And that was a very specific kind of game because he got the lead early and kind of played a control game the whole way through. And many moments back there, Reynor almost shook through it.
Yeah.
He almost shook free.
It was impressive. The fact that Reynor was able to hang on as long as he did in such really a desperate situation against a Solar that was just ahead. But Solar's approach going through into the mid game, just knowing that he doesn't need to attack until that third base is up, and then he hammers it down, and then, all right, you're on 2 base again. I'll wait until your third hatchery is done again, and then kill it again. Just really smart play there from Solar. He's always had an excellent grasp on ZBZ, and now one of these players is going home, and one of them is going to the round of 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to ley lines. It just rolls right off the tongue. It's not like I have to lean forward and read it just so that my brain can process it. Guys, this is it. Either Reynor or Solar is moving on to the round of 8. Okay, Reynor in the top right, Solar in the bottom left. Do we have a quick pool here from either side?
No.
Doesn't look like it.
I will say, it does feel like Solar has been a lot more conservative in this ZVZ than he has in ZVZ in the past. Like the build that we saw from Solar, the previous map, although it's very cheesy, it's very aggressive, I feel like for a long time in Solar when he was finding success in ZVZ, those kind of strategies were, you know, the rule and not the exception to his approach to the game. And I wonder how much of that is the way his practice has been going or the way the new map pool has been playing for those builds.
Yeah.
And how much of it is his respect for Reynor, because as we've seen multiple times today, Reynor, his control is just so impeccable. Like keeping that 1 HP Bailey alive against, what, 3 or 4 different Speelings, just body blocking and zoning him out. He's very good in those scrappy situations and getting the most out of his units. And for a player like Solar, who very often likes to go for these aggressive builds with Lings, with Bailings, where it's very much a micro battle against your opponent, somebody like Reynor is kind of the final boss in terms of, can you actually pull this off against the best micro players in the world? And so for Solar to play these more macro styles, I think it's smart just because of the opponent that he's up against. But at the same time, I feel like it's not, it isn't historically his greatest strength in ZVZ, at least for the past couple of years, especially in GSL.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, we've casted Solar ZVZ best of 3 series that lasted it felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah. We've had a lot of very short series for sure.
Yeah.
This game, again, we don't know where exactly it's going to go. We're waiting for the tech to be revealed. Will it be Lings over drones, or will it just be development? But, you know, it's important to remember Reynor's been in or tried out in GSLs more than almost any other foreigner in the modern era. You know, we had a period where the tournaments kind of blew up everywhere. Some players are trying to compete here, others were in Europe or North America. But this has always been a very special tournament in you know, the fact that it's very seasonal. I know this season isn't. We're kind of ramrodding it through because we've had barely any time for StarCraft 2, but you know, this is a different format from basically any other tournament in that we have a couple players in a group. They all prepare for each other. Some of them get knocked out. The other ones, they get back to work. They go back to the lab and try to come up with other strategies for the next group. And eventually, over weeks or months, we crown a champion. And so he's wanted to win this for a long time. He's been hungry for this.
He's the closest he's ever been to the round of 8.
Right, yeah.
Just one map win away. I think a lot of foreign fans are pulling for him. As much as I love Solar and his brand of Zerg, I mean, Reynor, he's been trying for so long to make it to that round of 8. And how glorious would it be to have a foreigner finally succeed in GSL? It feels like it has been forever, basically, maybe since the early days where we have somebody go super deep. You know, I'm thinking about players like Huck and Jinro, who very much had a chance at winning it all way back in the day, but since then, it just hasn't happened. And I think part of it is having to move out to Korea and live in a different culture and environment that isn't exactly familiar to you in terms of your practice, right? But also, as you said, there isn't really a preparation tournament like this in StarCraft 2. There never really has been, at least not at this scale.
Yeah, you basically are supposed to show up being able to kind of play against anything for days and days and days. You're in sort of this you know, a marathon of survival, where this is different. It's like just a few games. You have as much prep time as you want. You have as much research time as you want. And it's a little bit more planning oriented, which I've always liked.
Reminds me of Pro League a little bit all the way back in the day.
Right,
that was another one.
That was another seasonal tournament, right?
Yeah, I remember being on a Pro League team and playing a week of games on one map to train for my opponent. And I'm fourth in the lineup, and we get 3-0'd, and I'm like, God!
No! By the way, Lings and Roaches here for Reynor. He looks like he's going for blood here. Oh no, he makes a few more drones.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with these guys. They are very tricky with the way they eke out their drones. I think it's them showing a lot of respect to each other because they both know how dangerous their opponents are in the early game and the mid game in terms of these timing attacks. I mean, we've seen it over the course of these 2 series they've played so far today.
This is a missile attack upgrade. Oh! And he's got that tucked right beside the extractor. I don't believe Solar scouted that. We've had a couple attempted run-bys.
All right, more Lings coming in here for Reynor. Actually going to get all the way here into the main base, or not main base, the natural expansion of Solar. Looking more for the scout than for economic damage, and he is going to see, I believe that's the evolution chamber finishing there, the natural wall in, so he knows that he's going to have maybe a 10, 15-second lead.
And I don't know if that's going to be enough, honestly. He might go for it anyways. Again, every Ling's going to count if you're going to do some kind of a timing attack here. Now, we have 4 more drones being made here. The roach count is ramping up here for Reynor.
Yeah, Reynor has cut drones at 52 for quite a while now. 7 more roaches in production. Bailing's even morphing in.
Oh my god, the Overseer Cocoon's blind spot is not going to see the roaches.
Yeah, he's only just now realizing it, this push moving across the middle of the map.
Man.
All right, Spinecrawler is getting thrown down again. A lot of Ravagers morphing right now for Solar. 7 in total. +1 ground weapons, +1 roach speed. Not +1 roach speed. Roach speed being researched by Solar as well. But this might be very similar to the first series. Reynor just has so much army. These upgrades for Solar, they may not be done in time. The Bailey connections are huge on the front line. And now Reynor pushing in these Ravagers. If Reynor can get on top of them, they are so fragile. They'll get taken out so quickly.
He moves in all the way to the bottom where the Ravagers have nowhere to hide. So many roaches coming through.
Yeah, the Link streaming in as well. These Spinecrawlers trying to get as much value as they can. Solar using the map to the best of his advantage, getting these Ravagers into the corner, but Reynor, he is not pausing for a moment, stutter stepping, breaking down this third base. 14 drones have fallen. Reynor up 30 supply right now. 23 roaches to the 9 of Solar. I think he might have done it.
I don't think Solar can survive this. He's lost so much, and you can see that right now. Reynor just went for the jugular, chased them back. He's going to come in here, kill whatever's popping out of those eggs. Every time Solar comes out, Reynor's going to try to come back in. There's a streamline of roaches and Lings spilling down here. Remember that all the key infrastructure for Solar is right here in this this bottleneck that he's created over at his entrance.
Yeah, that's GG, Reynor. You are going to the round of 8 in GSL. Congratulations, a long time coming, man. Look at how excited he is there on stage. He is beaming.
Well, he's made it into the round of 8, and it wasn't easy. What a series that was. Kind of crazy. Solar's got knocked out. SOS has been knocked out, but Reynor going to have a lot of eyeballs on him as he goes into that round of 8 next week.
I'd love to see it there for Reynor. I mean, it just means so much for this guy. He's been trying to make it work here in GSL for a long time. And finally, he's able to break through into the round of 8 against one of the best ZVZ players in the world. And that was a hard-fought series. 2-1 in Solar's favor in their first best of 3, 2-1 in Reynor's favor in the final match. We're going to be going to an interview now with Reynor and hear what he has to say.
레이너 선수 정말 축하드립니다. GSL에서는 항상 광탈하면서 여기서 좀 처음에 시작했을 때 우승하러 왔다가 여기서 비행기를 탄 시간보다 경기 시간이 더 짧게 좀 치르면서 아웃되는 경우들이 좀 많았었는데 드디어 오늘 올라가게 됐어요. 어떠신지요?
So massive congratulations, Reynor, for making it to round of 8. You have had 4 attempts so far, and on your 4th attempt, you finally made it to round of 8. How do you feel right now?
I feel good. I feel good. Honestly, if I failed this one as well, it would have been rough for me. And yeah, 3 times failed. 4th time is the charm, I guess. It was a nail biter all the way. When I lost the first series, I was like, no, not again. But very happy, yeah.
네, 드디어 4번째 시도 만에 이제 8강을 뚫을 수 있게 돼서 정말 기쁩니다. 솔직히 3번째 그리고 이제 4번째 마무리하면서 이번에도 안 되면은 다시 도전 못할 것 같았는데 이번에 도전하면서 성사돼가지고 정말 기쁘고요. 정말 긴장의 끈을 놓칠 수 없는 경기들이었습니다 오늘.
네, GSL이 정말 오랜만에 열렸고 또 많은 팬분들 앞에서 함께 경기를 펼쳤는데 이 GSL에 대한 그 도전 또 레이너 선수 8강까지 올라갔는데 8강에서는 좀 어떨 것 같다는 생각이 드는지 그 부분이 좀 궁금합니다.
Yes, so after a series of nail-biter matches, you finally made it to the round of 8. How do you think round of 8 match is going to go?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far, honestly. I'm taking it one step at a time this time. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't even know who I'm playing against.
솔직히 8강은 제가 생각해 본 적이 없고요. 8강까지 이제 갈 거라고 생각도 못 했기에 지금 그냥 이제 스텝 바이 스텝 한 단계씩 지금 그냥 점진적으로 갈 생각입니다.
네.
사실 따지고 보면 거의 다른 대회에서도 만났었던 선수들이었어요. 그러니까 멤버가 그렇게 크게 다르진 않은데.
김도와 고병재.
네, 이제 지금까지 과정을 보면. 그래서 지금까지 GSL 도전 자체가 계속 어려웠던 이유가 무엇이었는지 이번에는 무엇이 극복을 하는데 도움이 됐는지가 궁금합니다.
So in the round of 8, it's no different. Your opponents are no different from your just usual tournaments. It is going to be Classic and Gumio in that group. And what do you think made all your past attempts into GSL so hard compared to today's one?
I think in the past I put a bit too much pressure on myself when it came to GSL. I think this time it was more of a smooth approach. Last time I kind of approached it, I either do well or I'm a fucking loser. And this time I was like, okay, let's try to do well, you know? So a little bit less pressure on myself, perhaps.
네, 확실히 좀 과거에는 마음의 짐을 많이 짊고 경기 임했던 것 같고요. 이번엔 좀 더 마음 편하게 해가지고 더 좋은 경기를 보일 수 있었습니다.
네. 그럼 이제 한국에 좀 자주 오고 이제 한국 생활이 이어지고 있는데 한국 얼마나 만족스러운지 그게 개인적으로 궁금합니다. 예.
It seems like you come to Korea very frequently. So have you been liking Korea and do you like Korea?
I love Korea. It's my favorite country. So any excuse to come to Korea is always a good excuse, you know? I just love it here.
네, 한국 너무 좋고요. 그냥 한국에 올 때마다 기분이 너무 좋습니다. 어떻게든 한국에 오려고 하고 있어요.
네. 자, 그러면 이제 팬분들 앞에 8강 경기에서 어떤 모습 보여줄지 각오 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
So finally, any last word to your fans?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for cheering for me. Shout out to everyone here. Shout out to Basilisk. Shout out to Red Bull. And shout out to all the fans at home. Thank you guys so much.
네, 팬분들 정말 감사합니다. 바실리스크에서 감사하고 레드불에도 감사하고 팬분들에게 정말 감사하다는 말씀 전하고 싶습니다.
네, 다시 한번 축하 말씀드리고 8강 경기에서 뵙도록 하겠습니다.
Congratulations, Reynor. See you in the round of 8.
Thank you.
네, 다시 한번 감사의 말씀드리겠습니다. 자, 이렇게 레이너 선수가
Hell yeah.
That's exciting.
That's exciting. That's a nice way to end the night. Reynor wins. He's going to the round of 8. If he wins the round of 8, he'll go to the round of 4.
And if he wins the round of 4, he goes to the round of 2.
And then round of 2, if he wins that, he goes to the round of 1, the champion.
It's great to be back at GSL.
Yeah.
Fantastic lineup of games. We got to see SOS and GSL Codas for the first time, and I don't know how long. We saw Cure just absolutely wrecking his 2 series, advance in first place, and Reynor able to make it to round of 8 after, what, 4th attempt, you said, here in the GSL Codas?
Fourth or maybe even 5th, I'm not sure. I mean, I've casted, at this point, so many GSLs, they kind of bleed into each other a little bit, but I mean, he's been here
15,
a lot.
16 years.
Yeah, it's been going on, it's been quite a run. So, look, that's exciting. We're going to be back tomorrow, guys, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Maru, Trigger, Rogue, and Nightmare. So excited to see Trigger here.
Yeah, he's been playing so well
Yeah, he's
online
looking
recently.
really good. He's young, he's fresh, and he's got a lot of potential. And I think we really need that in StarCraft too. We don't want to just have the exact same people forever. There are people who have been playing this game their whole life and have finally gotten to the point where they're ready for a round of 12 here in GSL.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good day. Anytime we cast Maru and a Rogue in the same group is a very good day,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
so.
Nightmare going to be exciting to see how he performs here.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how Rogue will do exactly.
I mean, he made it to the round of 12, so I imagine his form just has to be solid. But a
Yeah.
lot of people have been saying, I mean, especially Zerg players have been saying that ZVP is a very difficult matchup. So I'm wondering what Trigger and Nightmare are going to bring to the table. You know, I was actually a little bit surprised that SOS in his games today, you know, we just had the energy recharge ability added to the Nexus, and I was so expecting his games to kind of revolve around that, the way that a lot of the meta games have been revolving around it. You know, getting hallucination on sentries early for scouting, charging up oracles early in PvZ, and he's just like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to proxy Robos. I'm going to make Tempest. But I feel like tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of a better idea of what, you know, the meta is going to be looking at here in GSL.
Guys, below us on screen is information for the tickets. So we didn't sell out today, but we don't normally sell out on our first day. It does feel like the people aren't fully aware GSL's back until it's being uploaded onto YouTube. So if you want to come down to our studio, go to that link. It is in English. You can get a ticket. And if you're going to come to any of these days, I would recommend you get it right away. I think that the sales for tickets for next week go on sale Friday of this week.
Yeah, so in 2 days.
Korean time. Not whatever time zone you're in unless it's Korea time.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to go to the GSL finals, make sure you buy those tickets.
You got to buy it
very,
fast.
very quickly.
Because we don't have a lot of GSL days. The Esports World Cup is just around the corner. And so the tickets sell out. You know, this is a very nostalgic, historic show. So we hope to see you in the studio. But Yeah, be ready. Don't be DMing me. I can't get you in. Okay, this happens every time. There's somebody stuck outside. I'm like, I can't do anything.
Yeah. It's always a bad feeling.
It sucks. If people travel here, they want to. It's a dream to see this. So just be ready. I would check when those tickets go live and then try to snipe them the minute they're on there.
I think it was actually, I think the time the tickets go live was in the original graphic when we started the show today.
think
I'm sure
so,
it's going to
yeah.
be there tomorrow too, so make sure you double check that.
Yeah.
I think they even have a QR code. I don't know if we had this last year, but that just makes it really easy to go to the site
Yeah.
and do the thing.
Yeah. Guys, that's all the time we have. We'll see you tomorrow for Group B. Bye-bye.